So Chancellor Strine in the Martin Marietta decision focused very closely on confidentiality agreements. Indeed, two confidentiality agreements are at the center of the case. What implications does that decision have for activists, hostile bidders, other kinds of potential acquirers than those at issue in the Martin Marietta decision?
For any kind of activist investor, potential hostile bidder in a transaction, there's always a moment where you face the decision of whether or not to get brought inside the tent. When you're facing that decision, it's always a trade-off of, is the access I'm going to receive going to be worth the restrictions that might be placed on me? What's interesting about the Martin Marietta case is that it's a roadmap of every trick and every trap that you're likely to find when you're making that decision. What this case is, it makes clear as well, though, is that restrictions on the use of confidential information can be just as limiting in terms of preventing you from being able to go out and taking the kind of measures you want to make. A related point that we face all the time is just the mere fact of having material non-public information. If I'm in a sales process and I receive a bunch of confidential information, and I then want to turn around and go outside the process and do maybe a hostile tender offer, I have information that I received, I'm buying shares from the public, I need to tell people what I know, and am I permitted to do that under the basis of a confidentiality agreement that might say you can disclose to the extent required by law? Chancellor Strine engaged on the issue, looked at what Martin Marietta had done and decided that they had gone beyond the bounds of what the provision required. That was a very specific case. They took information and really blew it out into, in Chancellor Strine's view, a marketing piece. But imagine the more limited view of a bidder takes projections that they received and without comment sticks them in their tender offer papers just so they're giving buyers an equal footing. Is that something that would be permitted? Who knows? But this is a case that certainly has to give you pause.